Okay, so we have the period count. Right now, we need two things here. Number one, we need our days in a period. Right, so maybe you are building your own and you just need you need to have you need a date within you need a range within 2 days, right? 2 periods. So I'll say my start date, my period end date minus my start date. So I think +1, or either we do my current period end date minus previous end date. I think that's more accurate, right? And just drag this for the period, so I know the number of these. Then the second thing is I also need the total days in a year, right, for each of these. And to do that, I'm going to use my equal to. That will be our year. All right. No, that should be our, let's see, that should be our date, right? So our year will be the year that we have, right, comma, then our month 12, and our day should be 31st, and I will deduct it, right, minus the same date, right? Then I will need the year here -1, so that it compared the previous period, and just deduct it. So comma, then I did my 12 and my 31. So that can give us, maybe there's a 365 days, or there's a 360 days in any of the periods. So I need to put this in a bracket. This is my year -1. Okay, so what are we getting? What are we getting? So now let's calculate the total days. So let me duplicate this, and let me call this days in a year, right? We need the total number of days in a calendar year. And to do that, I'm going to use my equal to date, right? Then my year formula, so that it extracts the year from this start date. I need you to extract the year, put it in brackets, comma, the month, should just pick the month from this. Okay, the month, let's make it 12, then the day should be 31st, plus the brackets. Then I'm now going to deduct it from another date. So date, which I also need the year, but this time to now be this year, close my brackets, -1, right? Comma, then I can put my 12 and then my 31st. I can close my brackets and press enter. So it's going to give us 366 days. So the total number of days that we have. So put this, and so the period that falls under the full calendar year rate is just 365. It will give us that, right? And to kind of see the percent, to see this in percent, so you can also use the percent. So that will be equal to the days in the period divided by the total number of days in that particular year, right? I can just drag that. So that's the number of days this represents in each of the period, right? So let's now assume, so let me bring this down. Okay, let me bring it up. So let's assume that here we have interest expense of interest rate of 15%, right? How much do we need to pay here? So first, I think we can use two method. Let's apply two methods. So I call this interest rates. They still give us the same thing, right? But it's always good to always know different method that you can use. So first one is just to come here under my first period, equal to my interest rate, which I'm going to keep constant, multiply by what? Multiply by this, my percent, enter. Okay, so let me reformat that to show in the proper format, which is going to give us 3.7, right? And I can drag that for over the period. So you see that it's going to vary in the period. So based on the dates and number of days in the period, so it's going to vary like that. And that's the interest expense that you use in doing your calculation. So for the second one is where we first convert this, the interest rates, right? Divided by the number of days in the calendar year, right? So let me put both of them in brackets. So first I'll convert it to more like a daily rate. Let me copy my percent format. So I convert it to a daily rate, right? And I'll multiply it by the number of days in that particular period. And I'll press my enter. So you see that it still give us the same, to still give us the same thing, to give us the same thing. So it seems we are even going to the advanced part little by little, right? Okay, so which is actually good. So let me freeze my panel up here. Let me freeze my panel here.